Hi, and welcome to the Demystifying Mental Toughness podcast for athletes, coaches, and professionals who want to achieve their goals faster. I'm David Charlton, and I'll be sharing proven methods from leading athletes, coaches, and experts that will help you get the most from your talent. Today's show is sponsored by Functional Intelligent Training, who are a sports injury clinic located in Gosford near Newcastle upon Tyne and specialise in athlete development, nurturing future champions, strength and conditioning support and excellent rehabilitation services. Hi everyone. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing some observations on some past episodes, looking at Steve Hackney, Julian Dow and Robbie Thompson's episodes in particular, as well as touching on some more. The theme is going to be about maximising your time during this lockdown, or if you're an athlete who cannot train, cannot practice right now, or is maybe in the off season where you're not competing, I really want you to make the most of your time. Let's be honest, you're not going to get this time back. And also I'm going to assume that you've listened to last week's episode, that you've got some good processes in place now to stay on top of your well-being, on top of your mental health, so that you feel like you're a better person to be around, that you've got some energy, you've got some vibrancy, you're motivated. And if you've got those things in place, that can also only help you be more efficient during this time. So you've got some choices to make. You can spend some time in the past. If you're concerned by lockdown, you can be thinking, this is a bad dream, this shouldn't be happening. You can get upset. You can be frustrated and annoyed. You can think it's completely unfair, this situation. Or you can spend some time in the future. You can tell yourself that this lockdown is going to ruin your coaching business if you're a coach, that it's blocking your potential, your route to success if you're a player, an athlete, or that you're likely to be rusty in the new year because you haven't had the opportunity to practice. Or you've got another option. You can use your mind and you can be calm, much like a Roger Federer or a Rafa Nadal when they're faced with a serve to win a Grand Slam. Or you can focus like a Cristiano Ronaldo for the most part in his outstanding career. Another thing you could do is think outside the box, like the recent US Open golf champion, Bryson DeChambeau. So Bryson, he decided to use the first lockdown in the States in the early part of the year to bulk up. And he put on a staggering 20 pounds in 3 months. Because of that, he now hits the golf ball on average 18.8 yards up on what he did last year, which is pretty impressive and helped him win a major. So I'm going to be frank with you. It doesn't matter about your feelings about lockdown or about the off season. The important thing is this is your time. So let's use it wisely. Yet let's use it better. Don't be in defensive mode. Don't be paralyzed by the fear of the unknown or being consumed by home comforts or even laziness. In a number of episodes, I've talked about being honest with yourself. Certainly when I think back to a conversation I had with Peter Ramage, and more recently with Julian Dow's episode, they talk about regrets, about not looking themselves in the mirror, getting too comfortable. So I'd like you to start asking yourself some tougher questions during this period. I'm guessing at the start of a season, a normal season, you would set goals for what you want to accomplish in the season. So why don't you start by setting yourself a goal for the next month? Set yourself like a lockdown goal or an off-season goal if you're in that place. And then consider what it is that you want to accomplish in this period. So make a note. For argument's sake, it might be on the 12th of December 2020, I want to say that I've achieved this, this, and this. Make that note. And the things that you're going to work on might well be things that Steve Hackney talked about the environment. It might be about the people that you associate yourself with. Consider, are the people that you spend your time with or that you have regular conversations with, are they challenging you? So if you're an athlete, are you actually putting yourself in a position where you're learning from better golfers, better footballers, better tennis players, better snooker players? Are you having conversations with these people? Are you picking their brains? Maybe that can be your goal. Because let's be honest, if you seek to learn from the best, it can only be helpful for you. It's very much part of a growth mindset. And then Robbie Thompson, he talked about this feeling of confidence, feeling good in yourself. You could also ask that question, in the next month, what do I need to do to feel better about me and better about my chances? So to improve your confidence ultimately, what would those key elements be? It might be you need to change your routines. You need to go to bed earlier and get up earlier. You might need to shake it up an awful lot. And then in amongst this, Robbie talked about measuring your progress. How can you do that with this particular goal? I often ask the question to people I work with, do you know how to set appropriate goals? And they just look at me as if I'm a bit daft. Of course I do. But actually, what a lot of people do is they set a dream. What you need to do is you need to work backwards. So you've got your goal in 4 weeks' time. Then you need to break it down into the next week, the next day, into habits. That's what appropriate goals are in your sport. And if you set good goals and you review and refine them over a period of time, it can really help you identify your strengths and your weaknesses. Often athletes, even coaches as well, they're very driven, they're very good at doing things, they're very highly practical, but what they're not good at is just taking a step back and reviewing. And often by actually seeking some support, some help to do this, it is much easier and much better for you. And that can be help with someone like myself, a sports psychologist, or if you're an athlete, is actually asking your coach to set some time aside on a regular basis to help you. It can be really, really helpful and really drive you on. So based around that theme, I've got another question for you. Do you assess your goals on a regular basis? And if you don't, maybe that is something you need to consider going forward and in the future. So this episode has been a short one. I hope you found it helpful to really get you focused, get you driven over the next however many weeks. I just want to mention as well that put a date down now. It's Monday the 30th of November where I'm going to be starting a community. I'm putting together a Facebook group where I'll be sharing lots of helpful hints, helpful bits of advice, sharing a lot of the content from the podcast and from blogs I do. I'll be bringing other people into this with regular interviews into the group to really help you kick on and develop your mental toughness so that you can feel better about yourself and go on to perform better in the long term. The group's going to be set up for coaches, for athletes, very much a supportive environment. Before I sign off though, I want you to consider in the next 7 days, what are you going to try and accomplish? What one objective are you going to try and accomplish? For now, take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in part of the Demystifying Mental Toughness group at the end of the month. Take care. I'd like to give a big thanks to today's sponsors. Functional Intelligent Training, who are a sports injury clinic located in Gosforth near Newcastle upon Tyne and specialise in athlete development, nurturing future champions, strength and conditioning support and excellent rehabilitation services. Thank you for listening to Demystifying Mental Toughness today. To sign up for tips and advice to help you be the best that you can be, go to www.sport-excellence.co.uk and sign up to the Mental Edge newsletter.